So let's talk about the different type of interview question and answer session. So when if you interested for go for any interview session, generally they start with like that, which role you are want to play as a developer, as a tester, or QA, as a solution architecture. So based on your role, the question will become like that. But basic thing is that first thing generally asks that what about the RELTio? Is a cloud platform or cloud native? So it will be always the cloud native. And then it is come that let's say if someone asks you that if you have a previous other MDM tool you are use, if you use RELTio MDM, what are the difference you are facing? So you need to define in this way. It is a fully cloud solution, so do not have any standalone installation. So from day one onwards, it will provide user ID, password, and any browser you are able to develop a project. So it's very easy. So day one onwards, no installation, nothing. So day one onwards, you can start the working. So definitely installation, configuration, that part time will be reduced. So as well as the number of developer also reduce, because you for setup, configuration, new machine hiring, new machine purchase, software installation, it requires some IT related work that also not required. So cost also reduce. So in this way, you need to define that, and also due to the movement of cloud, there is no maintenance or no downtime like that for the upgradation, and so it is very easy to move on. And sometimes people ask the question that how many version are released in yearly. So generally, it is the three version every year, like year 10.1, 2, 3, like that. And they and now they are generally ask the question that do you know how to how to database setup, and what are the concept they are using in the database related in LTO. So for this case, you need to say tell them there is the Cassandra NoSQL database. So using the Cassandra NoSQL database, it can handle the multiple operation, as well as the it can store the structural data, big data also handling possible. And Elton do not provide any access to their Cassandra or SQL Cassandra DB. Always you have to go ahead with a REST call, different type of REST call, and operation of RELTO is using Postman is possible, Java jar file using Java jar file possible, and third one is your console. So in this way you can check. Now on sometimes people ask that do you know how many way you can load the data in the RELTO? So there is three way. One is using console via data loader. Second one is via Postman and JSON file always, but in console JSON, XML, Excel, CSV file is possible to load. And also not only that particular file, you can load the data via AWS, S3 bucket, Azure, SFTP location, and all is possible. Okay. And definitely real time also possible. And third one is using Java jar file. They generally provide a bit bucket location, and I already provide that location. Using that bit bucket location, you can download the Java jar file, and there is a properties file is there. You need to provide that information, which location file is, what are the pattern parameter, what are the entities they are. So such kind of information you provide, and definitely credential, then it can be load the data. And similarly for the extract also possible. When you search something, you can extract it, and the CSV file generally, if it is a big size, then it will provide you some S3 bucket or Azure location. Then you need to, by default it is S3 bucket at Amazon. You need to download it. It goes to your mailbox, and then there will definitely there will be a link, and you just need to download it. Is the export. So it is not only the export data, it also the export data model. It also export your activities, daily activities you can provide. So generally 4 month, 3 month data are available. You can extract it, but old version also possible. And next section they talk about the architecture. So architecture is defined in the three part. One is the in layer architecture, but people are consider only three: L1, L2, and L3. L1 means the core configuration. L2 means vertical or industrial specific. Let's say a digital industry. I can say retail industry, healthcare industry, oil and gas sector. These are the you can say that L2 configuration. But L1 is the core part. Let's say individual, location, uh, entity, because we know the entity, organization means person can be, individual can be two things, person, organization. So such kind of information, basic, that is core. And L3 is the part of the top. Top means most of the client are working here in kind, because you can write your own JSON code here, and then without, if you do not have any knowledge of the JSON, you can write the code. This is very simple, and it's a pattern like key and value, and value pair, and separated by the colon. In some cases, it's have put some scully bracket, square bracket like that. So you must to remember this the in-layer architecture, but people are using only one, two, three. That's all, not more than that. So delete also one part. Sometime we are say one to one delete. That is very useful. You can call it REST API via Postman. You can delete. You can console also delete. But let's say more than 1,000 or 2,000, 1 lakh data need to be. Then you go for the collection runner. This is very helpful. I already shared that session videos that how to delete that. So you need to provide that information to the interviewer. And sometimes they ask for the data profiling, data quality, that is also possible. And they also RELTIO also provide the machine learning, analytics, all those information is coming within the latest version. So you can provide these are the extra feature beyond the other tool. And already I told that the RELTIO coming from the Informatic or Cyperium, because their concept coming from there, and then based on their study they are improving. And they are mostly like the in healthcare, pharma industry, oil and gas sector. It's very good they are performing, but other sector, financial sector, media telecom sector, they are moving on, because nowadays they are moving around, they have a good customer. So development time also very less. Sometimes people are asked that, do you know about L3? Can you give me some information, or information about L3? So when you talk about L3, you need to say that L3 is the combination of two things. One is L1 and L2. L1 means core and L2 is vertical. It is represented by reference URI. The reference URI. This particular keyword are using in the L3 to inherit this feature. Okay. So URI, only URI, in URI is the keyword, is the unique part. It is maintained in L3, that uniform resource identifier. And sometime let's say different type of activities is there, like simply, nested, and is there reference type. So you need to mention that these are the keyword using. And in case of the nested example is address, simple is the first name, last name. Reference means something. Let's say your pin code or your country coming from another particular database, or you can say your location, that address is coming from referred to the some other part. So that is the difference. When we talk about the nested thing, that time data pattern also there. So data pattern, that keyword also helpful. And for matching purpose, match group is there. For survivorship purpose, cybership part also there. And cleansing function is there. Entity type means which type of entity, like individual, person, company, HCP, healthcare, such kind of attributes also there. And if it put some value, then attribute some value also there. uh, these are the mostly you need to provide the information about that. If someone asks you that, let me know the development process and how it will go to the L3, and from L3 to it goes to the business and then go to the tenant, how to implement these things. So first your step will be first information gathering, then convert that information gathering your unknown known format or Excel sheet or text file. So understandable mean how many entity want to create, what are the attributes, what are the matching rule you want to establish, what are which is the match, automatic match, will is not match, like that information. Then you need to put that information to the your L3. You can create a L3 in your some notepad or notepad plus plus, you can write or type it. Some online browser also available, you can do that, or using interface also, console also you can do that. And after everything is done, first you need to validate it before pushing it to any tenant. So there is a validation, uh, API is there, via Postman you can validate it. If it is successful, no error, then you can implement it. After implementation in the tenant or push in the tenant, there is a two option is there, via Postman you can do that, or via console also you can do that. Okay, the data model section you can import it. After everything is done, next step is, if any configuration is changes, then it is mandatory to re-indexing. So re-indexing with enforce streaming is equal to true always set. Okay. And then re-indexing based on your entity, number of entity, more than one entity. So provide the entity name and do that. After that, you can say that your tenant is ready for use. So in this particular step, you need to follow for the starting point to end. And sometimes people also ask that what are the connector is available in the RELTIO to getting the data from the source system, like SFTC or Salesforce, SAP Logic. So such kind of ETL tool connector is there, so you can easily connect it and load it data. So generally they ask, and it's also possible for you can write a code, Java code also, because the base thing is that uh, uh, everything based on the Java. So if you know the Java, you can write the code, some specific code also. Here is another part is that RELTIO provide a professional service. Let's say in your organization do not have multiple people are working here, but you want to implement one project. So for this case, only one or two members you can consider in your organization, and rest part you can hire from the realty organization itself as a professional service. So they will help you, they will develop your code, they will set up everything for you. Definitely they have a cost, extra cost is there, except license, that this else this service cost will be, the professional service cost will be there. So in this way, the people can ask you like that. I so hope you learn some about interview question and answer, and this will be helpful for your next level up in any kind of interview session. So thank you so much. Thanks. Bye.